You've probably been told that manifesting your dream life is hard, that it requires complicated rituals, endless visualizations, perfectly worded affirmations, and constantly working to raise your vibration. But what if I told you that quantum manifestation is actually stunningly simple? So simple, in fact, that almost no one does it correctly. Right now, you're living inside a quantum field, a field of infinite possibilities, and this field doesn't respond to your effort. It responds to your alignment. Yet most people approach manifestation like it's a battle. They try to overpower their current reality with sheer willpower. They repeat affirmations they don't believe, visualize outcomes they secretly doubt, and force themselves to think positive, while their body is still stuck in fear, scarcity, and stress. This is where the whole system breaks down, because in the quantum world, force equals friction. Let's simplify this. Quantum manifestation isn't about getting what you want. It's about collapsing into the version of reality where you already have it. It's not about changing the outside world first. It's about embodying the internal frequency that attracts that world to you. The quantum field contains all possibilities: success and failure, abundance and lack, love and loneliness, health and struggle. It all exists as waves of probability. But here's the twist. A wave doesn't become your lived reality until it meets a coherent observer. That observer is you. Your focus, your emotions, your energy, these shape reality. But most people are stuck in a loop. They're focused on what's missing, operating from fear, vibrating with lack, while trying to attract abundance. In the language of the quantum, this is noise, not a clear signal. You've been taught to chase what you want. But the real secret to manifestation is becoming the version of you who no longer needs to chase. It's the version of you that remembers, I am already entangled with the life I desire. The field is waiting for my signal. Your job isn't to try harder, it's to get clearer. So why don't most people do this? Because simplicity can feel disorienting, because letting go feels unnatural, because surrendering the chase feels like giving up. But here's the paradox no one talks about. The moment you stop desperately needing it, the quantum field can finally deliver it. Think about a time when something came to you effortlessly. Maybe you met the right person by chance, got an unexpected opportunity, or had a breakthrough idea when you weren't even trying. What's the common thread? You weren't gripping. You weren't forcing. You were open, aligned, available. That's quantum manifestation. The quantum field doesn't respond to your words. It reads your energy. You could say, I am wealthy 1,000 times. But if your body is still signaling fear, if your heart is clenched in scarcity, if your nervous system is addicted to struggle, the field will reflect that, not because it's cruel, but because it's accurate. So here's the radical shift. Quantum manifestation begins when you stop focusing on getting and start focusing on being. You become the signal. You embody the frequency. You let your inner state lead, not effort, but alignment. Which brings up an important question. What exactly does the quantum field respond to? Is it just thoughts, emotions, beliefs, actions? And how do you align all these layers so they send one clear message, not mixed signals? This is where most manifestation teachings fall short. They focus on one part, usually just thoughts or feelings, but ignore the deeper coherence of the system. They tell you to think positive without helping you heal the trauma stored in your body. They tell you to visualize success without addressing the subconscious patterns that sabotage you. They tell you to affirm abundance while your nervous system is bracing for failure. But the quantum field listens to the whole signal, the embodied integrated signal. This is why alignment isn't just a mindset. It's a full body, full system, full field shift. In the next part of this journey, we'll dive deeper into how the quantum field works, what the observer effect really means, and how your subconscious is always broadcasting, even when you're not aware of it. We'll break down the elegant mechanics behind what looks like magic. And I'll show you why manifestation actually works better when you stop trying so hard. But for now, sit with this question. Where in your life are you trying so hard that you've become your own block? Ready to go deeper into the quantum with me? Let's explore the mystery you've been dancing around, perhaps without even knowing it. The quantum field doesn't respond to your wishes. It responds to your coherence. At its core, quantum manifestation isn't about thoughts alone, or emotions alone, or even actions alone. It's about aligning all three into a single, coherent signal the field can read clearly. Think of the quantum field like a cosmic translator. When your thoughts, emotions, and actions align, the message is clear, and the field responds almost instantly. But when you're thinking one thing, feeling another, and doing something else entirely, the signal is scrambled. The field reflects not clarity, but chaos. This is where the observer effect comes in, a principle of quantum physics. At the quantum level, particles exist in a state of pure possibility, what scientists call a wave function. But when an observer, you, focuses on a specific possibility, that wave collapses into reality. Here's the catch. The observer isn't just your conscious mind. It's also your subconscious. So if you consciously desire abundance, but your subconscious is wired for fear, scarcity, or struggle, that's what the field will pick up on. Your subconscious becomes the true observer, collapsing a timeline you didn't consciously choose. This is why people feel stuck. They align their conscious mind, but ignore the deeper programming. And in the quantum world, the subconscious always wins. Even more fascinating, scientists like Joe Dispenza and Bruce Lipton have shown that the heart has its own electromagnetic field, even stronger than the brain's. When your heart and brain are in coherence, you send out a powerful, unified signal. When they're not, the signal is weak and fragmented. This is why manifestation from the mind alone often fails. Without emotional alignment, the quantum field has no clear signal to respond to. Most people try to think their way into change, but the real shift happens when you feel your way into alignment. You don't just tell the field what you want. You become the vibrational match for it. That means tuning your body, your breath, your nervous system, your beliefs, and your daily choices into harmony. Not as a one-time ritual, but as a living, ongoing practice. Let's take a real-world example. Say you want to manifest love. You write affirmations, make vision boards, visualize your ideal partner. But deep down, you carry wounds of unworthiness. Your nervous system expects rejection. Your heart is guarded. The quantum field feels that. It picks up on the contradiction. So you get more longing, more searching, more almost connections that don't quite land. It's not punishment. It's precision. The universe reflects your dominant frequency. So, what's the real shift? It's about moving into coherence, into feeling whole now, into practicing the emotions of what you desire before it shows up, into embodying the reality where you already have it, so the field can collapse that version into form. You become the frequency, and the form follows. This might sound like a lot, but here's the simple, powerful truth. The more you let go of trying to control the outcome, and the more you regulate your inner state, the faster the quantum responds. That's why this is simple, and yet so few do it, because the human mind loves to complicate. It wants 10 steps, 5 hacks, a guaranteed formula. But the quantum field isn't a machine. It's a mirror, a dance partner, alive, responsive, intelligent, and it's waiting for you to meet it with steady, embodied presence. So let's end with a simple practice. Take a deep breath. Right now, notice how your body feels. Notice where you're holding tension. Notice the background noise of your thoughts. Now, soften. Let the grip loosen. Let go of the need to fix or force or figure everything out. Feel what it's like to be okay, right here, right now, without needing anything to change. That is the beginning of true alignment, and that's the space where the quantum begins to respond. This is the moment your true power begins. Before we continue, I'd like to invite you into a small, powerful action to ground this shift you're feeling. If something in this message is resonating, if a spark has been lit inside you, go ahead and subscribe. Become part of this space, this dialogue, this community. And in the comments, share just one word, a single word that captures the energy you want to live from this week. Maybe it's peace, clarity, freedom, or trust. Whatever word surfaces first, that's your signal. Speak it, claim it, make it real, because once it's named, you begin to sync with it. Now, are you ready to explore the overlooked secret of manifestation? The part that's so simple, it almost seems unfair. Let's peel back the layers. Why is it that, despite countless books, courses, and YouTube tutorials on manifestation, so many people stay stuck, disheartened, or lost? The answer is surprisingly straightforward and a bit uncomfortable. Letting go feels unnatural. Our minds are wired for control. We're taught that effort equals value, that struggle proves worth, and that pushing harder is the path to success. So when we meet a process like quantum manifestation, where alignment, coherence, and surrender are the keys, it disrupts our programming. We keep trying to make things happen, even though that very effort sends the signal that we don't truly trust the process. Let's break it down. Many people get caught in what I call the control loop. They say they believe in abundance, but anxiously check their finances constantly. They journal about love, but obsessively refresh dating apps. They declare health as their goal, but constantly scan their bodies for symptoms. In doing so, they unknowingly send mixed signals. On the surface, they're affirming what they want, but underneath, they're broadcasting fear, doubt, and lack. And that's what the quantum field responds to. Why does that matter? Because the quantum field doesn't respond to words or mantras. It responds to energy. And energy doesn't lie. You might speak affirmations out loud, but if your body is tense, your thoughts are swirling with fear, and your heart is guarded, the field mirrors that. This is why people get burned out. They're doing all the right things, but from a place of anxiety, scarcity, and over-efforting. So they remain stuck in the energy of wanting rather than having. It goes deeper. Your subconscious runs the show. About 95% of your daily life. It shapes your patterns, your responses, your beliefs. You may consciously desire a breakthrough, but if deep down you're still carrying the story that you're unworthy or that nothing ever works out, that old narrative will dictate your reality. This is why positive thinking alone doesn't work. It's why visualizing without regulating your nervous system falls flat. And it's why taking action from an unaligned identity only leads to more exhaustion. So what's the path forward? Understand that quantum manifestation isn't something you add on. It's a shift in your whole being. It's a return, a remembering of who you truly are. You begin living as the version of yourself who already exists in the reality you desire before any external proof shows up. Want to attract abundance? Then live from abundance now. Practice generosity, presence, and self-trust, not because you've made it, but because you're aligning with the frequency of already enough. Want to experience love? Love yourself first. Let your heart open. Become the kind of partner you wish to call in. Let go of chasing validation. Begin to live as though you're already complete, because you are. Want healing? Stop hyper-focusing on what's broken and start honoring what's working. Shift from survival mode into self-care. Be gentle with your body and guide it with appreciation rather than fear. And here's the paradox. The moment you release your grip, the things you want often arrive more quickly. Not because you've stopped caring, but because you've stopped resisting. So I'll ask you again, where in your life are you still gripping the wheel with all your might? Where are you still trying to control, to chase, to force? What might happen if you let go? Just a little. This isn't about giving up. It's about evolving from control to co-creation, and that subtle shift is where manifestation truly begins to take root. In the next part, we'll get practical. I'll show you simple, often overlooked techniques to bring your system into alignment, regulate your state, and become a powerful, clear signal to the quantum field. We'll talk about how to release resistance without spiritual bypassing, how to build trust with your subconscious, and how to step into the timeline that's waiting for you, as though it's already yours. But for now, reflect on this. Where are you gripping so tightly that you've become your own biggest block? Because here's the most powerful truth hidden in plain sight. You don't manifest what you want. You manifest what you are. This isn't just a beautiful idea. It's a law the quantum field lives by. It doesn't react to your words or your Pinterest perfect vision board. It responds to your energy, your embodied vibration, your moment-to-moment state. Here's a metaphor. Think of yourself as a radio. If you want to hear jazz, you don't demand it while tuned to a rock station. You adjust the dial. You match the frequency. Manifestation is the same. You can't attract the reality you desire while still resonating with the energy of the one you want to escape. So how do you change the frequency? By becoming aware of how you feel, how your body holds stress, how your thoughts loop on repeat. Most of us are on autopilot, recreating the same patterns, the same energy, the same outcomes. The shift begins when you interrupt the pattern, not with effort, but with presence. Maybe that looks like taking one slow breath in a tense moment, or placing your hand on your heart when fear kicks in, or asking, what would the version of me who already has this do? And taking one small step from that place. Because the quantum doesn't need perfection, it needs coherence. Coherence is when your thoughts, feelings, and actions move in the same direction. When your whole being sends one unified message to the field, that's when reality begins to bend in your favor. Let's get even more grounded. If you want to embody abundance, act abundantly. Not just with money, but with time, kindness, energy. Train your system to feel like enough. Want love? Be vulnerable. Share your heart. Be the kind of space you long to receive. Want health? Respect your body. Feed it, move it, rest it. Not from fear, but from love. This is the path. Simple, profound, rarely walked. Because it requires you to go first, to lead with being, to become the energy before the evidence arrives. And when you do, reality follows. Let's talk about one of the most misunderstood aspects of manifestation: emotional regulation. Many people mistakenly believe that manifestation is about feeling good all the time, but that's not the goal. The real power lies in feeling authentically in every moment. and knowing how to bring yourself back into alignment when you slip off track. This is about welcoming your emotions, not suppressing them. It's about being able to sit with fear without letting it take the wheel. It's about learning the emotional vocabulary to ride the waves without getting lost in them. Here's the truth. You're going to wobble. You'll question. There will be days when the gravity of the old version of you tries to pull you back. And that's okay. The power doesn't come from never falling. It comes from how quickly and compassionately you return to center. So right now, take a breath. Notice your internal state. Ask yourself, what timeline am I in right now? Am I resonating with fear or with trust? With scarcity or with abundance? With waiting or with presence? No judgment, just awareness. And that awareness creates a moment of choice. And choice is where coherence begins. In the next segment, we'll integrate everything you've learned. We'll explore how to turn these concepts into sustainable practice, how to move through setbacks with grace, and how to consistently embody the frequency that brings your desired reality to life. But before we go there, I want to take a moment to thank you for showing up, for engaging, for being part of this process. If something here is sparking something within you, if you're feeling seen or stirred, I invite you to hit that subscribe button. Step deeper into this space, this dialogue, this shared frequency. And in the comments, share one word that represents your current intention. It might be allow, expand, or flow. Whatever it is, let it be your energetic marker, a signal you send to the field. Now, as we reach this final piece of the puzzle, I want you to really hear this. Manifestation is not a performance. It's a practice. It's not a one-time achievement. It's a way of living, moment by moment, choice by choice. Many people get stuck thinking manifestation is about doing more, hacking the system, following the right formula. But in reality, the most effective manifestors aren't those who know the most techniques. They're the ones who've learned how to regulate themselves, how to return to alignment when life shakes them. Because life will shake you. You'll have days where fear resurfaces, when old stories whisper, when the reality you're trying to leave feels stronger than the one you're calling in. And in those moments, your old habits will try to resurface, controlling, pushing, chasing outcomes. But true mastery is this. Can you stay rooted in trust, even when there's no external proof yet? Can you act from the energy of, it's already done, even if nothing's changed on the surface? Can you be so attuned to your future self that the past version of you can no longer hook you? That's when embodiment becomes essential. Let's ground this into something actionable. Every morning before checking your phone, pause, breathe, ask, what frequency am I choosing today? Is it fear or faith, scarcity or sufficiency, control or surrender? Throughout your day, let your body be your guide. It will tell you when you've slipped out of alignment. You'll feel the tension, the constriction, the inner grip. When that happens, there's no need to spiral or self-blame. Just pause, breathe, recalibrate. Ask, what would the version of me who's already living that future do right now? And then take one small action from that energy. And at night, before sleep, replay your day, not with criticism, but with curiosity. Where did you stay aligned? Where did you wobble? Where did you glimpse your own power? Let gratitude anchor what you discover. It amplifies coherence. Even the smallest wins matter. Now here's something most people overlook. Community is crucial. We are relational beings. We regulate our emotional and energetic state in relationship with others. When you surround yourself with people who live in coherence, who are actively playing in the quantum field, you naturally begin to match their frequency. This is why your environment matters. Physically and energetically, find voices, spaces, and circles that reflect who you are becoming. Let your surroundings support your inner reality. And remember, there is no finish line. This is not about arriving and then stopping. It's about living inside the unfolding, where you become the leading edge of your own evolution. You're not just here to manifest things. You're here to become someone who lives from creation, not reaction. To be a conscious shaper of your life experience. Here's the most beautiful part. The quantum field is not something separate. It's not a tool you manipulate. It's a mirror you are part of. You are the field. You are the signal. You are both the observer and the observed. So when you shift your frequency, you're not just requesting something from the universe. You're becoming the version of life you've been waiting for. I want to leave you with this invitation. In the comments, share one word, just one, the energy you are choosing to carry forward from here. Maybe it's alignment, ease, courage, presence. Whatever it is, let it be your seed, planted with intention, clarity, and power. And if this message sparked something in you, if you felt a remembering, an opening, I warmly invite you to subscribe. This isn't just a channel, it's a living community, a space for evolution, a sanctuary for co-creators stepping into their power. Thank you for being part of this journey. Thank you for your energy, your attention, your presence. You're not just watching, you're becoming. So keep tuning in, keep aligning, keep playing in the field.